Justice B. Gopal Uday, former Chief Justice of Odisha High Court and Judge Supreme Court of India. Justice Dr. B.R. Sarangi, Honorable Judge Odisha High Court. Justice Rituraj Awasthi, Honorable Chairperson, Law Commission of India. UT Khater Farid, Honorable Speaker, Karnataka. Justice Vishwanath Rath, Honorable Judge, Odisha High Court. Professor Dr. Bhagavan Joy Singh, eminent poet and translator. Dr. K. Srinivas Rao, Secretary, Sahitya Academy. Dr. Bijanand Singh, Professor, Keys University. Sri K.M. Shivashankar Azad, General Secretary, Indian Conference of Intellectuals. Sri Deepak Rath, Editor, Uday India, and my dear ladies and gentlemen and friends of the media. Before starting my speech, I will express my hearty gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister, who with his most busy schedule have looked to the sensational aspects of my photography and makes such valuable observations which has inspired me. And the Prime Minister, as you know, apart from making all other developments, but her work in the country, in the national, international level, is now playing a key role when there are greater crises in the world. And the big powers misunderstood him and said that you are not supporting us, but at the time when you will face some such crisis, you will not get our support. In spite of that, he stood firm and appealed to the entire world that the entire humanity wants peace, not war. And a greater crisis for which the entire world was apprehending has been avoided. And in spite of his busy schedule, how could he do it and make some nice comment? Actually, he has made a review of the book. And now, on the stage, you have heard Justice Devagowda. And I found he took the book yesterday at night. And I found that he has gone through the entire book and makes such critical comments on the book as if he has reviewed the book. And I must thank him for his encouraging and inspiring speech, and all other guests who have spoken on different aspects of the book. I was thinking that what shall I say on my own book, and in such a short time, I will speak on which aspect of it. That is my problem. But after hearing of my guests, and especially Justice Uday and Justice Vishwanath, I found that everything has been said. So I am not to speak much about it. I extend hearty thanks to all of them. And regarding this book, Bijanand Singh, Bhagwan Singh, our Secretary of Science Academy, Mr. Srinivas Rao, have done tremendous work, and for which it came to light so soon. I thank them all. I joined the High Court Bar in the year 1961 and joined Bharatiya Jansan in the year 1972. And continued as an advocate and as a politician, and after joining Johnson, I was the General Secretary of the state and the National Executive Member. And as I have written, that Mrs. Indira Gandhi, her luster case, election case, in Allahabad High Court, under her election was declared invalid in law. Therefore, everybody expected that she will resign as Prime Minister. That was the moral duty of the then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. But instead of resigning, she became arrogant. She wanted to continue as Prime Minister. She amended the Defence of People's Act with the retrospective effect to nullify the verdict of the court. And thereafter, a dictatorial administration continued. And her advisor said that it would take such firm decisions without caring for the democratic norms and values. Judiciary would stand as a bar. Therefore, try to control the judiciary. And Mrs. Gandhi then interfered, and there is supersession of judges in the Supreme Court. 3 senior and brilliant judges of the Supreme Court, like Justice Salat, Justice Grover, Justice Hegde, has been superseded by junior judge, Justice Ian Roy, who became the Chief Justice of the High Court, breaking the long-standing precedent of the Supreme Court that the senior most judge will be the Chief Justice. Everybody was surprised, and all the lawyers of the country came down to the street. They protested against the honor, dignity, and independence of judiciary, which has been undermined by Mrs. Gandhi then. Further, I will tell you what happened. She has gone to such an extent after declaration of emergency, that in a case of murder, when the Attorney General was arguing the case before the Supreme Court, a question was posed from the bench. Do you like to say that if a head constable will shoot down a citizen like a dog in the street, he has no protection under law, there is no protection under the Constitution? The Attorney General has the audacity of saying, yes, my lord, that is no more available because of emergency. And Article 21 of the Constitution on life and liberty has been suspended. Not only that, Article 19, Article 14, and all important articles which are protecting the rights of the citizens have been withdrawn. Imagine to what extent they have come. And as you know, before that, Jayaprakash Narayan, the great leader, had started his total revolution, Trampled Kranti. And ultimately, that movement has been converted to an agitation for saving democracy. It was attack on democracy, rights of the citizens. And all the political parties, the great organizations like Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Bharatiya Janasangh, Socialist Party, Sangathan Congress, almost all opposition parties were united and joined the Jayaprakash's movement. And I was an advocate of the High Court then. And the High Court, when this agitation of the lawyers started, High Court has elected me as the chairman of the Action Committee, and I led the agitation of the lawyers to uphold the honor, dignity, and independence of judiciary. And today, there is a big conference of the lawyers of the entire state. And all the lawyers, we go on a procession from the High Court Bar Association up to Reverence College, which is about 5 kilometers, with our traditional dresses, black coat, gown, band collar, with everything. It created a sensation, and people standing on both sides of the road were encouraging us. Because I said, if we will have such a procession, people were surprised what has happened. That lawyers are marching with the traditional dresses in such a big number and covering such a big distance. And thereafter also in all the High Court Bar Association, the Supreme Court Bar Association, similar type of procession with the traditional robes. They started the agitation. And during this emergency, there are several meetings of the political parties, and I had also a leading role in Odisha. Dr. Mahtab, the legendary figure of the politician, Nabushan Chaudhary, the Sarvada leader, Mr. Biju Patnaik, and others, all of us were determined how to face this emergency, how to fight to save democracy, because all democratic rights had been threatened. And ultimately, in a big conference of Bharatiya Jansan out of Zine, there was a mammoth meeting, a rally, and by then, just there was an election in Gujarat, and Congress was defeated. And that's the place where Jayaprakash Maharaj had started the movement. And in spite of all these things, Congress was defeated and opposition government had been formed by Baba Patel. So in this Uday conference, in that big rally, the slogan was, Gujarat ki jeet hamari hai, aur Sethi teri bari hai. Prakash Chandra Sethi was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. And that was the pre-emergency period. And all the speakers waited for Atal Bihari Vajpayee, whom you know is famous for his enchanting speeches. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he spoke, people remained spellbound. And ultimately, he said that you have to face a greater danger. Your democracy is going to be murdered. The rights of the citizens is trampled in dust. So, you must fight for saving your democracy, your democratic rights. This sort of warning he had given them. Then we returned to Odisha. We came, and this sort of agitation was going on. We invited Jayaprakash to Odisha. And the government in Odisha, under the Chief Minister of Srimati Nandini Satpathy, opposed it and tried for tried how there will be no meeting of Jayaprakash Narayan ji. But that without caring for that, Jayaprakash ji came, and we all the opposition parties gave her full support. There are two mammoth meetings, one at Cuttack and one in the state capital, Bhubaneswar. And he roused the spirit of patriotism amongst the people. Your democracy is in danger. All your rights will be crushed. Save your country. And even appeal to the students to come forward. Save your country, save your democracy. Some intellectuals asked Jayaprakash ji, how you are asking the students to come to the street? What will be their future? Jayaprakash ji replied, have you forgotten what had happened during the freedom movement when Mahatma Gandhi has asked the students to come to the street and fight? And similar questions were put to him. And Gandhiji said that what is the future of the slaves? We are not slaves. We are under the bondage of the Britishers. So you are asking me why I am asking the students to come to the street and fight. They must fight for the freedom of their country. The people kept silent. And Indira Gandhi, when she found that it went out of control, the situation, she ran to emergency in the midnight of 25th June 1975. Jayaprakash ji, Morarji Bhai Desai, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Lal Krishna Advani, Charan Singh, Vijay Patnaik, all senior leaders had been thrown inside the jail under Misa. And here in Odisha, Dr. Mahtab and Krishna Chaudhary, they called the meetings how to face this situation. Mahtab ji asked us, all the parties and some of the leaders, that a greater danger is come to the country. It will take all your rights. And this is like another freedom movement. Are you prepared to face it? We said yes. 2-3 days thereafter, Dr. Mahta was arrested and taken to custody. Then Dr. Chaudhary, on 3rd July, just a week after the declaration of emergency, I was arrested and detained in Cuttack jail. When the SP came to my house and said, sir, under visa, you are to be detained. So my father was a freedom fighter, and a great nationalist, and a writer, a dramatist, and always inspired me to serve the nation and the people, and to fight for the honor and dignity of the country. He was then present, not present, he came from the village. And we were surprised that without any intimation how he could come. He said, I swear that something which cannot be predicted will happen. And I may be arrested and go to jail. And when I started going to with the SP, my wife cried because sums were very small. My father said, why are you crying? My son is not going to the jail for any murder or dakati. He is going to jail for fighting for our country and for democracy. That's the tradition of our family. And we have done it since long, since years together. And I was detained in jail. And when we were there, and when the entire world was criticizing India, criticizing Mrs. Gandhi, that you have threatened democracy. They said a very peculiar thing. She said that every country has its own definition of democracy. I'm a student of political science and a lawyer. I was stunned to hear that every country has its own definition of democracy. The political scientists and the concerned persons, the learned persons, are also surprised that to what extent Mrs. Gandhi has gone. So that was such a big fight, the dark days of emergency, which continued for long 19 months. The lamp of liberty, the lamp of democracy was almost extinguished. There was apprehension in the minds of the people of the world that democracy may not be restored in India, such a great country. And this was the attitude of Mrs. Gandhi. And that period was over, but inside the jail, we were also thinking that when this period of emergency will be over, not only we are inside the jail, the entire country was in the jail, because nobody ventured to speak anything, and there was no festival, nothing. And 150,000 people were inside the jail. When the leading member of the family was inside the jail, many families have been uprooted. Many people have been killed. There was a disastrous situation all over the country. And persons who have not experienced this emergency, cannot think what has happened then. And after 19 months, when emergency was lifted, because at that time, Mrs. Gandhi thought that after 19 months, nobody will open his mouth. People are terrified. People will not revolt. But when emergency was lifted, under the advice of Jayaprakash Narayan, the great leader, Janata Party was formed. And we fought the election. And so far as myself is concerned, Mr. Vijay Patnaik and myself, we campaigned all over the state after the emergency in the parliamentary election. People voluntarily came forward to donate funds for the election. And as you know what had happened, Congress was completely smashed because he did not think that people will revolt. These poor, wretched people, Adivasi, and neglected persons, they have no blood, they can't revolt. And they will be afraid of any further crisis or suppression of the human rights. But revolt was inside the distant jungle and forest area inside the hills also. And you know what had happened. Then the government continued, and that was perhaps the golden period, as the people say. All the best brains of the country were in the cabinet. Morarji Bhai Desai was the Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Raj Krishna Advani, George Fernandez, Charan Singh. Like all these people were in the cabinet. And similarly, in Odisha cabinet, under the leadership of Mr. Nirmal Rao, I was a cabinet minister with 6 portfolios there. Because I have a special identity for it, for leading the lawyers' agitation and having a leading role in the JP's movement. So that was a period. Even today, when I think, I said, what a great danger has been put to the country. And the people inside the Janata Party who had much more ambition tried to become Prime Minister. And as you know what has happened, and ultimately the ministry collapsed within 27 months. Because they could not tolerate the popularity of Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Raj Krishna Advani. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee then toured all over the world like Foreign Minister. And many of the friends in the parliament said that when the parliamentary committee were visiting different countries, they said, when your Atal Bihari Vajpayee will be the Prime Minister. So, jealousy developed and it collapsed, which is unfortunate. And after that ministry, what I have done to Mr. Justice Uday has elaborately said that in government what I have done, and also Justice Sarni. Because he was from Orissa, and his father is a freedom fighter, and though a bit senior to me, was a great friend of mine. Then thereafter, there are some other chapters with which I have dealt. This Paika rebellion. Paikas are foot soldiers. And in 1977, I started martial tradition of Orissa. Because the entire object was, ultimately, in different parts of the country, before the freedom movement, there were movement and people wanted to break from the British clutches. And in Orissa, and you are always, all of you know about the Sipahi rebellion in the year 1957. Sipahis raised their guns against the Britishers. Though Gandhiji had made an appeal that will maintain non-violence, that was his weapon to fight. And Netaji was different. Netaji said, in spite of his great respect for Gandhiji, he said, Gandhiji, how can we fight such a great power of the world, which is armed with all sophisticated weapons? And as you know, he escaped from this country, then Japan, Germany, there was Prime Minister under all these 6 countries assured that you will help. And Azadi government was formed. And Netaji has then said, give me blood, I will give you freedom. There is no power in the world which will keep us under bondage for a longer time. Gandhiji's call in 1942 that quit India. Some people said that this naked fakir is asking the Britishers, such a big power, to quit India. But when lakhs of people joined the voice of Mahatma Gandhi and asked the Britishers, quit India, there is a turmoil in the entire country, starting from Himalaya to Kanyakumari. And people, without caring for the British bullet, came to the street. And as you know what happened then. Inside Mahatma Gandhi, from outside Netaji. Netaji was not properly honored. And now, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi installed his statue in Delhi, India Gate, replacing the statue of Judge White. And renaming the road as a Kartapatra, that was Rajpath, and said that a symbol of slavery has been removed. Similarly, this Paika Vidroh in Odisha was fought under the leadership of Bakshi Jabandhu Vidadhar Mahapatra, the great commander of the Raja of Khordha. And it is a bloody battle in which there are people's participation. Continued for long 8 years. And in 4 places, Britishers were defeated. And we are very much grateful to our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi that he gave it the recognition, so that this is another freedom movement. And in the budget of 2017, provisions have been made to observe the bicentenary celebration of Bike Rebellion. Now, 4 important factors, imagine. One is completion of 70 years of independence, centenary celebration of Sabarmati Ashram. You know the great contribution of Sabarmati Ashram of Mahatma Gandhi, Champaran farmers movement, and bicentenary celebration of Bike Rebellion in Odisha. And funds are also allotted for having a great memorial on the hill Barunai, which was the center of the revolution. And that I have also mentioned in my life history. Throughout my career, as an administrator, as a politician, I have tried my best to honor the dignity and the prestige of the people, and I have tried my best to help the common man, the downtrodden people of the society, the persons who are deprived of different privileges which are due to them. And even if I have strong difference with the chief ministers, I have always played a different role, for which it has been covered by the police, and I got the support of the intellectuals, especially, and the people. Well, that is a right mission of mine. And therefore, in my book I have said that people who are in service, they retire in a particular age. But the people who are in politics, in social service, and who are working for the people, there is no age of retirement. They must work for the people. That is suffering of the people. Till now, the people who are suffering from different diseases are crying with pain. And people in far places, they don't get any privileges. It's being deprived. And it's being looted by some influencer people. As Minister Revenue, I amended the restoration of Adivasi land. And in that amendment, I made provision because that the persons who are now in possession of the Adivasi land, they must file a petition before the sub-collector that how he acquired the land. Because it had come to my notice that politicians, bureaucrats, influential persons are exercising threat on those poor people and snatched away their lands. And if anybody will not give the details of it as to how he acquired the land, then it will automatically go to the original Adivasi owner. And wherever it is found that fraud has been exercised, then we will prosecute it. And I have also made provision for 5 years imprisonment and 10,000 rupees fine for the people who have snatched away the land of the Adivasi. Like this, it is a life mission of mine to fight for the poor people. And in your society, I said, Bhati, Ma, and Mani. Mother, our motherhood, our motherland, and persons, man, our society, and really it is the responsibility of everybody to look to his nation, to feel proud of his nation, to look to the society around him, and these common people and the downtrodden people to the society and stand by him. We say equality before law and equal protection of law as provided under Article 14 of the Constitution. Actually, are you equal? And for this, the conscious citizens of the country, conscious citizens of the nation, must stand by them. Wherever, in what sphere they may work, they should think that this is my duty to stand the person that you should get the equal protection of law. We should be treated equally by law. That will be our duty. And I prayed Lord Jagannath till my last breath. I will continue my fight for my nation, for my state, for the people, and especially down to the people of the society. And I prayed Lord Jagannath to bless me for that I will continue this fight. And with this, I must thank you all pray Lord Jagannath that let him shower his blessings on all of you and inspire you to fight for your nation and the people. Thank you.